Good Monday morning. Hope you had a good night's sleep last night, had a great and restful weekend. Sleep. In the Abundant Living course this week, we're talking about, the habit is called early to bed, also known as how to go to sleep and go to sleep in a timely time. Because they talk about you should get so many hours of sleep at night, and that's important. What is even more critical is when you get those hours. If you get them from midnight to 8 o'clock, you're going to have a much different sleep experience than if you go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up at 6 or even 5. It makes a big difference because of the way that your body wants to function. There's times for everything. And when you go to sleep has a big impact on your sleep experience. But the other part of that we talk about is how you get there. Just naturally, the evening is a slowing down time, a time to process your day, connect with people, start to relax, to prepare to go to sleep. Your bedtime routine is much more than just brush your teeth, go to the bathroom, fall into bed. If that's all you're doing, I want to encourage you to think about your process this week and think about how you can start to prepare for bed a little longer. There's a lot of ways to do this, a lot of them. And if you are interested in more, message me or comment below, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that. But the one for today is about how you program your mind, because, when I was reading this morning from one of my favorite guys, Oswald Chambers, he had this to say: "It is in the middle that human choices are made. The beginning and the end remain with God. The decrees of God are birth and death, and in between those limits, man makes his own distress or joy." Absolutely. Because you are made in the image of the Creator, you have so much creative power. A lot of it is right up here. What you think about has everything to do with how you see the world. What you put into your mind has everything to do with your perceptions, with the story that you tell yourself about your life, and your perception and your story have everything to do with the choices that you make and how you show up in your world. Before you go to bed, that last thing that you do is a critical opportunity for you to start reprogramming your mind, telling yourself the story that you want about your life rather than the story that you're living, maybe. Or maybe you love the story that you're living and you can reinforce it moving into the next thing. This week, if this is a thing that you want a better life, you want better sleep, because that alone will change your world, right? Here's your trick and tip. Take, in that half hour that you're supposed to be off your screens before you go to bed to let your body down-regulate off those super stimulating blue lights, take some time to just sit, or even better if you're a writer, journal it, record it, and just do the day in review. Celebrate the good things, feel, and then just let go of. Let the other things just roll on by. But take some time to process it, to pay attention to what comes up, and let those emotions just go on by. Let go of them. Celebrate, really be grateful for at least 3 things that happened in your day. At least 3. It'll make a huge difference. And then identify a few things that you want in the next day. I always finish with, "All is well in my world." Say that 3 times. How does that feel in your body? I know that sounds woo-woo, but feel it. What happens? Identify a few things that you want for your next day. See what happens. That's your challenge for this week, is to try this 5 nights, Monday through Friday, and see what happens. I had a boy that had a bad week recently, and we had this conversation, and he said, tomorrow's going to be horrible. Today was awful. Tomorrow's going to be horrible. Nothing's good. Everything's bad. I said, well, we'll see how that works out for you tomorrow then. Pick your story, buddy. His next day was horrible. Absolutely awful. He got in so much trouble, did so many things that created bad consequences for himself. So that night I said, okay, how'd that work out? How about we try something different? Tonight, say, today was a rough day. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it. That's one of my favorite Anne of Green Gables quotes. His next day was a whole lot better. He chose to make it so. He'd programmed his mind for what he wanted for the next day. And it worked out the way that he expected, because he rolled with the punches better the next day. He expected good things, and so he saw good things. So, program your mind. Sleep well, and have a great and abundant week. Contact me if you struggle with sleep and you want to talk about that. Talk about your process and how you can hack the natural systems out there to get some better rest. Have a great and abundant week.